Hello and welcome to A Word of Hope for St. Patrick's Day. I'm Father Scott and I'd like to use a proper reading for St. Patrick's Day. It's a Gospel of Matthew chapter 13, two parables of the kingdom. And the first one is the parable of the wheat and the tares. They plant wheat in a field and an enemy comes and plants weeds among it. And when it grows up, there's a question of, should we pull the weeds so the wheat can grow? And the master says, no, lest you trample upon the wheat. Let it all grow, and come harvest time, we'll sort it out. 'Tis a parable about why, when we're building the kingdom of heaven, is there evil here among us? Because we know there is, planted by the evil one. It needs to be opposed. Injustice needs to be fought, but not at the expense of trampling upon the innocent. If the only way to oppose evil is to trample on the innocent, better to not. Leave it in God's hands. God will sort it out in the end. A good lesson, but not the end of the story, because we have a second parable. The mustard seed, which is planted the smallest of seeds, but grows so big it becomes a tree so that birds can make a nest in it and find a home. Of course, mustard doesn't grow up into a tree, but the kingdom of God is like that. The impossible happens with the grace of God. Anything is possible. And here I want to bring up St. Patrick, who was carried off into slavery into Ireland for 6 years. And instead of opposing it, complaining and fighting, he used that 6 years to build up his own faith. So that when the time came to escape back to his native land, he kept building his faith there, became ordained a priest, and in a dream, God told him, now go back to Ireland and bring the good news to them. And he did. But his faith was so strong by then, crazy strong, that he became not just a mustard plant, but a tree in which many people could make a nest and find a home in Patrick's great faith. So a lesson perhaps for you and I. We live in a time where there is much injustice. But if we can't oppose it without trampling on the rights of the innocent, without causing more damage, maybe we need to leave it to God and work instead on the other side of that equation, building ourselves up with the grace of God into something we never thought we could be, something that can provide a home for the faith of other people, because that's the other way that we work to bring about the kingdom of God, to be it in a huge way in our own lives. That sounds like a good Lenten project to me.